Welcome back to Do-It-Myself Garage. I've got most of the old sealant off of here, and we're going to try to put on the new roof rail seal. Stay tuned at the end. I'll show you the car show I went to earlier today. Now that we're back, I'm going to work on putting this roof rail seal in, so the next time I take it somewhere and it starts to rain, I don't get wet on the inside. So this kit came with these little plastic pins, but honestly I don't know how those are supposed to work. The rubber seal does not have any pre-drilled holes through it, and they only, unless I lost them, there only appears to have been 10 to start with, and I need way more than that. So I'm going to put some black sealant on this roof rail part here where that piece goes and kind of follow the previous pattern. And then I'm going to run screws into here. It goes up into the inside of the framing. It isn't going to hurt anything. The screws are nice and short. It's like number 10, ½ inch long. And just going to run them in there and hold them. I already tried it down here. I ran one in there, and then I ran another one in here. And you can see it goes way down deep into the rubber, so that isn't going to hurt anything. I don't think that'll mess with the window or anything, because I'm pretty sure the window comes in and just tucks up under here. It shouldn't hit that screw at all. So we should be good. It took me a little while to figure out which one was which, because it doesn't say left and right. Once you kind of look at it, you can see how this kind of makes sense, that this is the rubber piece that the window is going to push against when it closes. And so I already fitted this piece, and then I closed the door, and it does a really nice seal all the way along here. So that's going to work really good. Let's keep going. I'm going to get some rubber sealant behind here so that it holds it down in between where the screws are. And then we're going to close the door on that seal for a while so that it stays in place. I just bought some all-weather roof cement, so this stuff should work. Obviously it should handle the heat and should be plenty good for what we need. Just kind of put a little bead on the back of it to kind of hold it in place. I could get by with just tacky glue, but I kind of wanted something a little more substantial, so we'll give this a try. I don't know how much of this I'm going to be able to show, but I'm going to try. I already have a hole popped in this tube. And here she comes. Oh boy, don't want to get that, on the car, but I want it on the car. I want it on the spots where the seal's going to go, but I don't want it on my carpet or on my seat. Okay, we're just going to go that far. Alright, and let me go get a towel and fix this little piece down here so I don't get the stuff all over my fingers. These are not self-tapping screws. These are just sheet metal screws. You could use whatever you want. Oh, I just realized now I kind of covered up all the holes, didn't I? Dang it. That wasn't very smart. Alright, I think going forward I'm going to put the caulking on the on the seal instead of on here. Either that or I'll have to mark as I go. So that started out poorly, but let's get going here. So I made marks so I can see. You probably can't see it, but I can see them. And there we go. And don't want to go so tight as that I kink the rubber seal, but it's pinching it. So I purposely picked screws that have a fat head on them, or a wide head. So that it doesn't pull through the rubber. There we go. Maybe someone else knows a better way to do this. I couldn't find anything for GM. So, to see if we have it right or not, let's go ahead and close the door and close it on the quarter window. I'll have to hold part of this. Not liking that. See how it kind of, when I tried it earlier, it didn't do that. See how it wrinkles there and wrinkles there because it's being held in place. So that doesn't seem right. So the door is shut all the way. It's not really compressing the rubber like it was before when I put it up there without the screws. I need it to seal good, or I might as well not have a seal at all, right? All right, let me do some work. All right, the little bit of wrinkling I get actually is going away now when I close the door. I played around with this and I pushed this piece out, and I'm going to let it kind of sit there before I do any more. I had to add an extra screw up here because there was no screw between here and here. So I'm going to let that dry for a little bit, and then I'm going to come back and continue to work on it. But I think I finally kind of got a pattern down. I'll have all my holes marked this time. I'm going to put the rubber or the sealant on the rubber piece as I go. Otherwise, I covered up all my holes. I didn't know what holes, where the holes were. So, I don't know. It's probably the wrong way to do it, but this is me. Well, I got this other side done. I'm not too impressed with the black stuff because it took like 2 days to dry. And you can see it has a little bit of a pinch point where the screws are in there. So maybe a little bit smaller screw would help. But the rubber gasket's in where it needs to be. So I'm pretty happy about that. On this side, I'm going to try super glue instead. Might make it a little harder if I need to get it off later. But I super glued this part, and it's sticking better than the black rubber did to start with. So yeah, that should work good. Again, it's a little bit of a pinch where the screws go in, so maybe a little bit different style of screw or something. I'm not sure. But to start it, in case anybody wondered, there is like 2 holes right down here that line up perfectly for the start. So it really helps you to know kind of where to start it. And then just go up from there. I use the old molding as kind of a guide as to how far out it should be, and then I'm kind of testing it as I go to make sure that I get a positive seal, because you want a little bit of pressure on that so the windows press into it so you get a good seal, so you don't get wind noise or water in the car if you're gonna wash it. That's the whole point of the seal. Not a whole lot to show here. I'm just gonna keep going all the way to the back, do it, and then we'll come back and I think I'm going to rotate my tires. My alignment is still, I never did get the alignment done. It's out a little bit. Wearing the tires a little bit on the outside here. It's twice that they've been on the front already. So I'm going to swap them around to the back, get some more life out of them. And then we should be good. And maybe I had just a little bit of dragging again. Keeps coming and going. I'm going to double check that the axles are still bolted in properly. And one guy said, your bolts could have backed out because these are bolted in axles. So I'm going to double check, make sure that those axles didn't, those bolts didn't back out a little bit. Pretty sure I put Loctite on them, but who knows at this point. Anyway, absolutely beautiful day today. Good day to be out in the sun here working on the car a little bit. All right, it was time to do a tire rotation, and I was looking up my noise, and I thought, I better double check this front brake just to make sure. And Man, that pad got ruined. Apparently this retainer clip let loose. So I have no retainer. And then the adjustment thing was laying in the bottom and the springs broke, and yeah, that piece is gone. So I have another one of these from the previous change, but I don't have this locking pin. So I've got to go up to a parts store and see if I can find one of those. For some reason, I don't have any spares. You would think I'd have a spare after doing a couple of brake jobs, but I don't. So we'll come back and then we'll get that figured out. And I could have swore that noise is coming from the back, but it's hard to hear when you're inside the car, you know. All right, got it back on there. They didn't have parts for a 68 GTO, but they did for a 72 Grand Prix. And basically the retainers and the little nails are the same length. I'm sure some of the springs are different. I ordered a real kit. It'll be here tomorrow or the day after. Always good to have a few extra springs and stuff on hand. The kits are only like $8, so it's not a big deal. So anyway, she's good to go. She's not scraping no more. I adjusted the brake a little bit, but look at that, not scraping at all anymore. So we're good to go. Let's take her for a test drive. Redoing our trail. I had some chairs I needed to get painted. Christopher is very happily watering all the bushes. Right, Christopher? So much fun. It's been pretty warm, so we want to make sure that they get plenty of water. They were just planted. So we will take the GTO for a drive in a little bit. Once I'm done with a couple of these other little projects, we'll throw the GoPro on her and see how she does. We are at Back the Badge car show today, and I'm just going to take you through and show you some of the cars that are here. And probably won't have much audio because they've got music playing in the background.